the hearing of the Gunter Independent School District to order. Let the record show that this meeting has been duly called and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the requirements of Texas Education Code. This is a public hearing to discuss the 2022-2023 Texas Academic Performance Report, TAPER. The board allows and encourages comments from the audience after the district's completion of their presentation. At this time, we will begin the public hearing, to discuss the 2022-2023 TAPER report.
Good evening. Like Ms. Hills discussed, this is our 2022-2023 TAPER report, or Texas Academics Performance Report. So this is going to go over our 22-23 data as we kind of go through it pretty quickly. You'll see some data points that are going to be from 2020, 2021, 21-22. That just simply means that's the latest data we have from the state. And so we're kind of going through those quickly because it's really, past that time now that we're in the 23-24 school year. So overview for the first slide back there, it is one thing I want to point out on this one. You can locate this. On the next two slides, you'll see that on the TEA website, and this will also be available on our website. At the conclusion of the hearing tonight, we will have it posted for you. You can access it here. You're good? Over here, closer. You can't hear me. Rabbit? Can't hear me? So these first slides that we're going to go through have to do with specific STAR scores and EOC scores by grade level and subject area. So the first, we're going to look at elementary school, so we're going to look at grade 3 and grade 4. What I want to point out on this page is the approaches, means, and masters, and what those mean. For those of you that don't understand or don't know or have knowledge, you're not in education, you don't necessarily know what those mean. Approaches, means, and masters are the ways that the state scores our STAR and EOC exams. Those all mean passing, but if you were to add those up, 76, 54, and 10 are over 100%. So you're kind of going, well, that doesn't make sense. All it means is that all of our students that passed at least got approaches, and so 76% of our students passed in reading, 78% of our students passed math, which was at or above our state and region averages. In grade 4, in reading and math, we were at 88% and 89% passing, which was above the state and region average. Now we're going to shift to middle school. 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th, and 8th are all on the middle school campus. And so as you can see here, grade 5 in reading was at 88%, above the state and region average, 88% for math, and 89% for science, which both of those were also above the state and region average. In grade 6, for reading we were at 82%, and in math we were at 82% as well. And in 7th grade, reading and math, we were at 93% and 87%. In grade 8, reading, we were at 90%. I want to pause for a second on 8th grade math and explain the 62%. When you look at it, you're like, oh man, that's a lot lower than I would like it to be. But what I want to point out about 8th grade math specifically, the majority of our students are on an advanced academic plan, which means the majority of our 8th grade students, over half of them take the Algebra 1 EOC exam in 8th grade. So they're not included in these percentage here. You're going to see that later on our Algebra 1 slide when we talk about EOCs. The importance of that is we have less students to make up that percentage. So that's why you're going to see a score that's just a little bit lower in 8th grade math, because most of our students are performing high school EOCs. In science, we were at 82%, and social studies, 67%. Both of those were also above the state and region average. Now we're going to shift to high school. There are 5 EOCs that the students are required to take to graduate from high school. The first 2 are English 1 and English 2. We did really well on our English 1 and English 2, with 81% of our students passing, and English 1 and 91% of our students passing English 2. Those are very hard exams. Those are the exams they have to take to graduate high school, so those are both above. In Algebra 1, like we talked about before, these are 8th and 9th graders that are taking those exams. 79% of our students passed the Algebra 1, 94 in biology, and 100% of our students passed U.S. history. On these next 3 or 4 slides, you're going to see a comparison that we typically do for area school districts around us. And so this is what these are. It's the same scores, but it's us compared to districts around our area. I'm just going to kind of let you kind of look through those. I'm not going to go through them specifically. Ms. Brill, I'll let you go ahead and look through each one of them. We'll go ahead, that's 5th and 6th grade. The next slide will be 7th and 8th grade. And then we're going to move on to high school. This is our high school EOCs, English 1, 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History. All right, on this slide, we're going to discuss annual growth. Annual growth is complicated, and so I tried to put a little blurb out there to explain it a little bit. Annual growth is calculated by the percentage of students that grew academically by at least 1 school year. So that means individual student growth calculated in a change between performance from one test to the next test. And so these are the number of students, the percentage of students that we had that grew academically 1 school year from one to the next. You're not going to see grade 3 on here because obviously 3rd grade is the first year that they take this exam. So it's going to start with our 4th graders and work their way down. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, like I told you when I started. This data is a little bit older, and so I know that our campus principals actually spend a lot of time during our board meetings each month updating our attendance rate, which is something super important to us. So this data is actually from 2020, 2021, and 21, 22. As you can see, the main thing to point out is that even then, as well as now, we're above the state and the region average as far as attendance rate. Dropout rates, I like this slide. Personally, I like to throw it in there because this calculates, even though it's older, the number of students we have that drop out of school in 7th and 8th grade and not through 12th grade. And as you can see here at Gunter, that is not happening. So this slide specifically breaks it down by a lot of different categories, but it's how many students we have that graduate from high school within the 4-year period. Once again, this is 22 graduates from the class of 22 and the class of 2021. And 98.8% of our students graduated in 2022, but if you look down where it says continued high school, that means 1.2% of them actually continued high school and eventually graduated, so that's 100%. This slide discusses the college and career and military ready. That's the number of students that we have compared to the state and the region that are ready to go on to college or onto a career or military ready. So once again, we have several students that take dual credit courses when they get into high school. Dual credit courses are courses that give them college credit while they are still attending high school. In 21-22 and in 2020-21, we had at least almost, at 50% in 21-22 that were taking dual credit courses. That means they were enrolled in a college course while still in high school. This slide discusses all of our students that take SAT and ACT. We actually offer SAT on our campus. We do 2 SAT days, one in the fall and one in the spring. And so this is the 21-22 data and the 20-21 data of our students and how they performed on their SAT and ACT scores, well above the state average and the region average. We have very high performing students. Okay, so this slide can be somewhat confusing, so I'm going to point out a couple of things. We are required to track what happens to our students when they graduate from Gunter ISD. And so we track the number of students that leave high school and enroll in a higher public institution in Texas. That means in Texas only. And so out of our 66 students that graduated from Gunter High School in 2021, 46 of them attended either a 4-year, 2-year, or independent college or university in Texas. Well, we're really close to the Oklahoma border, and so this doesn't include any students that go out of state. We can't track that, or any students that are doing anything else. So really what that means is 70% of our students graduate from high school and go to school, a higher institution right here in Texas. So this slide discusses our student ethnic distribution, the number of students that we have in each one of the different ethnic populations. And then we're going to kind of go through student demographics. This one discusses the number of students we have that are economically disadvantaged, emergent bilingual, at risk. You can go ahead, Mr. Bell. And bilingual ESL, which ESL is our program that we have, gifted and talented, or special education. Now we're going to move on to teacher personnel. Teacher personnel, this is their ethnic distribution. The next slide is way more important to me. If you notice, of all of our teachers, this is the number of years of experience that the teachers in our district have, and over 50% of those teachers have 10 years of experience or more. That's phenomenal. So I'm going to go through these last slides really quickly. These last few slides, as Mr. Bell's going to click through for me here in just a second, is just summing up what we kind of saw at the beginning. It's an overview of all the grades. If we were to take all the grades in all the subject areas and we were to look at their scores, then this is how they performed, how all of our grades in all the subject areas performed versus the state and the region. So what I want to end with tonight is just pointing out that our students are performing at a high academic level, above the state and above the region, in all categories and all areas. I think there's just a couple more as we go. That's all subjects and all grades. All right, so that's the end of my presentation tonight. I know it was short and sweet, but that's what I wanted to provide some information. If you have any more questions or information that you'd like to ask, feel free to reach out to myself or Mr. Martindale, and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Yes, ma'am.
I just have one question. Is this the first year that with the 3rd and 4th grade, we're actually reflecting the numbers of COVID, our COVID impact? Yes. My son nicely pointed out to me that it was 4 years ago that we didn't return to school after spring break,
Right.
which I completely put out of my mind. And I thought, oh, okay, that's significant. And so is that correct? That so our 3rd grade statistics would have been the kindergartners during
Right.
COVID, and first would be the 4th graders.
That's correct. So if you're looking at this data, she is correct. You know, everyone suffered from a little bit of COVID. You know, we're still recovering from that, and so the 3rd graders on this and 4th graders on this, for example, would have been kindergarten and 1st graders during that COVID time. So yes, that's correct. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I appreciate your time this evening.
Good evening again. Good evening again. I want to welcome you and call to order the meeting of the Gunter Independent School District Board of Trustees. Let the record show that there is a quorum of board members present, with Gabe Johnson absent currently. I believe he's on his way. Furthermore, let the record show that this meeting has been duly posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Would you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Hill. We're going to skip around on our agenda tonight. We have one or two items that on the agenda are ahead of this special time. And this is such a special time, we use 2 hours. This one has more batteries, so we'll stick with it. So, thank you all for being here tonight. It's always exciting to see people here at a board meeting. They're sometimes not the most entertaining, but these board meetings are the most exciting time for me because we slow down as a district, as a community. We take a few minutes and we recognize what really matters, and those are the kids that are in our classrooms that we love on each day and try to grow and nurture and do the best we can to make them better individuals, smarter individuals, and eventually, once they graduate, contributors to society. But we also take a minute to love and recognize those teachers that are in those classrooms doing that. And that's why we're here tonight. And so we're going to start with our student recognitions. Our principals are going to come up and share what they have to say about each one of these students. The student, when you hear your name, you come up and stand with us. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Aunt, Uncle, neighbor, whoever is here for these kids, we will hold them right here until you get every single picture you want. And it's your night as well, so you get to leave here with all the pictures you want. So understand that, kids, if I've got to hold you, I'll hold you, but Mom and Dad or whoever can get their pictures. So we're going to do that for our students, and then we'll circle back around to do our faculty and staff members. And families that are here for recognition, we'd love for you to stick around, but don't feel like you have to. Again, board meetings aren't the most entertaining meetings that you may ever attend. So if you get done, your family member gets done being recognized, or you may have a softball practice, or who knows what going on, please feel free to go. You're not going to hurt our feelings. So that being said, I ask elementary to come on up, and we will recognize these amazing students.
Where's Truett? I'm sorry, you look like your brother. You look just like him. Did you know you look so much like your brother?
Yes.
Did you know you would be recognized? No, it's a surprise. Well, surprise! Truett, I'm going to tell you, Ms. Keller's going to make sure her notes stay up here. Your teacher nominated you for the superintendent honor roll. And so you were being recognized by your teacher, and she wrote some lovely things about you. So come snuggle in close, and let me read it to you, okay? Oh, sure. So this is Truett Franklin. He's a second grader here at Gunter Elementary. He looks a lot like his brother. You know, I'm a twin, so I get that all the time. All right. So Truett's teacher is Miss Fisher, and this is what she wrote. Truett Franklin has such an amazing love for learning. He has proven to be such an inspiration to his classmates and friends who see him as a leader. Truett has an incredible way of adding a comical twist on a lesson in class that keeps his classmates connected to what we are learning. His excitement to learn something new is an incredible trait that will carry him far. Truett believes in fairness, even for the underdog. He takes the time to make sure each of his classmates has participated in whatever game they are playing.
One day at recess, one of his classmates did not have a chance to play Foursquare before we had to go in for class, and he made sure to let his friends know that they would get to be first for the next time we went out for recess. Truett has an infectious smile and laugh that keeps our classroom brighter. He completes our classroom, and we are truly blessed to have Truett Franklin at Gunter Elementary School. So proud of you. Mom, you can jump over after she's okay. This is a good surprise. We love celebrating our kids. Kennedy George, come on down. In your cute sparkly shoes. I am so proud to share this young lady with you, Mr. Martindale and board members. Kennedy George, you were nominated by her teachers, Miss Keel, and she wrote some lovely things about you. She said, Kennedy George is a one-of-a-kind kid. She is a perfect example of kindness, selflessness, and compassion. Kennedy excels inside and outside of the classroom. She gives 110% in everything she does. Kennedy goes above and beyond to make sure everyone is included and feels important. I've never witnessed a kid care the way that Kennedy does. She is always willing to help in any way that she needs, and this is so true. She helps us in the morning as a leader in our campus, and she asks before we even have to ask. She wants to be that helper. She is responsible and is by far one of the most respectful young ladies I have ever had the privilege of knowing. Something that sticks with me every day is that before leaving my classroom, Kennedy says, "Thank you, Mrs. Keel." At the beginning of the year, I asked her what she was thanking me for, and her response was, "Thank you for teaching me every day." And she meant it. This just shows what kind of kid she is. Kennedy George, your future is so bright. It excites me to know that the sky is truly the limit for you, sweet girl. Keep shining that sweet, sweet light, and never forget how loved you are. We love you. Got it? Yeah. All right, Kennedy. Okay. All right. Miss Dorsey, I saw you slip in. Come on up. This is Julie Dorsey, our SPED teacher here at Gunter Elementary. Miss Dorsey was a second grade teacher at GES last year. I found out that she had some SPED background. She had taught SPED, and I asked her if she was interested. She said she had to pray about it. I told her God really was pressing on her heart. And then she called me back and she said yes. And I asked her probably about a month ago, I said, "You found your niche?" And she said, "Yes, I have. I don't want to leave." She is an incredible blessing to our campus. So I want to share what your peers said about you, okay? All right, Julie Walden said, "I love teaching second grade with Julie Dorsey. She was fun to work with and a great teacher. I was so extremely sad to see her move into a new position, but oh my, she is awesome at it. She is doing a phenomenal job as a special education teacher." Miss Deanna Jameson said, "Miss Dorsey makes connections with all students at Gunter Elementary. Her gentle and confident approach ensures that all students and staff feel comfortable in her presence. Her smile lights up the hallways of GES. She is an amazing asset to her department in GISD." Whitney Hill says, Julie Dorsey is a blessing to our campus. I've had the privilege of having her as a teammate in kindergarten and now get to continue to watch her grow kids as a special education teacher. Julie is full of grace and shines a very bright light in our hallways. She is a team player and will always go to the extra mile to help anyone in any way. You can count on Julie to do what is best for kids every single time. Gunter ISD is a better place because of Julie Dorsey. You can't cry, okay? This is what I will. Oh my gosh, this is what Debbie Les, her partner in the special ed room, says. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for her. You can hear her saying that, Kate, yes. To say Julie is deserving of this recognition is an understatement. A true heart of gold and an educational rock star. Her kid-first attitude is contagious, and I feel truly blessed to work alongside her. Her work ethic, rapport with her students, and efforts to collaborate with teachers are admirable, and I learn something new from her every single day. Stepping into a new position can be challenging, but she has handled it with such poise and grace and strives to make a difference in her students daily. No one else could be more deserving of this award. Congratulations, Dorsey. Deborah Les. Oh, I'm not done. No, this will be the last one. This is from Shannon Parker. She said, I had the honor and privilege of working on a second grade team with Julie. She is a literal rock star. You'll see the theme and throughout this. She is kind and loyal and loves her family, kids, students, and friends as well. She will do anything she can to help wherever she is needed. She makes sure you know you are appreciated and loved. She is loved by everyone who knows her. She will go above and beyond to advocate for her students and make sure they get everything they possibly need to succeed. She works tirelessly to create a place her students want to come into for learning and thrive while they are with her. She is so deserving of this award. Congratulations, Julie Dorsey.
All right, guys. Daniel, you can come up here. All right, Daniel, I'm going to read a letter to you, okay? All right, Mr. Martindale and the GISD Board, I have the pleasure of recognizing Daniel Apitano for the Spring Superintendent Award. Daniel is an exceptional student who is well loved by his teachers and peers. He is bright and funny, and he always has a smile on his face. Miss Vaughn, his science teacher, said, Daniel is a perfect example of a Gunter Tiger. He is amazing in so many ways. From his helpful nature, his work ethic, his compassion, his friendliness, his sense of humor, and the list goes on and on. I don't think I've ever seen him without a smile on his face. I owe Daniel a lot for keeping all of my filing done and checking the lost and found basket every day. Now, if I could only teach him how to do my lesson plans. Miss Reed, his reading teacher, says, Daniel comes to class with a smile on his face and his positivity flows over to his peers. He is always asking how he can help. His daily choices of honesty and initiative reflect his character, and he is deserving of this award. Ms. Eckenrode also stated, I can always count on Daniel to be doing the right thing. He constantly seeks out ways to help others, students and teachers. He loves learning and often chooses to challenge himself by working on higher level material with me when he completes his classwork. He's all around a great kid. Ms. Jordan echoed all of these statements and said, he's so kind to everyone in class. He is respectful not only to me, but also to his peers. I can always count on him. Daniel is a model student and exemplifies everything we hold dear at Gunter Middle School. He's a joy to have and we can't wait to see him excel. Congratulations, Daniel. right, Caleb, you're up. This is Caleb Owen. All right, guys, so I have the pleasure of recognizing Caleb for the Spring Superintendent Award. Caleb is a phenomenal student and is well loved at GMS by all the staff and his peers. He's a leader, always does what he's right, has a great sense of humor, and is always willing to go the extra mile. That's in sports or his academics. Some of his teachers have this to say about him. Mr. Fletcher, his science teacher, says, Caleb exhibits a sense of pride and professionalism in his daily routine. He takes care of his work first and foremost. He is willing to help others who may be struggling. He is kind and considerate of adults as well as his fellow classmates. I like his wit as well. Mr. Farrell, his history teacher, says, Caleb is smart, respectful, and a good student. He is an exceptional young man and a natural leader among his peers. He is kind to others, servant-hearted, and a joy to have in class. Not only is Caleb an outstanding student, but he's also known as an outstanding athlete. He participates in football, wrestling, throws shot put, and plays baseball. I'm sure I missed some things, but those are just the highlights. Coach Maxwell, one of his coaches, said, Caleb is one of the hardest working athletes that we have here in Gunter. He shows every day that he can do whatever is asked of him. He is always a positive role model and a leader for other middle school athletes. He constantly tries to make everyone around him better. We're lucky to have Caleb here in Gunter. Coach Applewhite said, Caleb embodies TPW. He is supportive of younger athletes and mentors them. Even when sports he doesn't play, he shows up to support his fellow teammates. At lunch, Ms. Coleman and I get to go and spend a lot of time with 8th graders at lunch. But at lunch, his group of friends, he has a group of friends that affectionately refer to him as Ketchup. And I don't know if it was really good to talk about that. So we need to story. And he is typically the voice of reason in this group of friends.
Thank goodness.
Yes. He calms their crazy and is a good friend to everyone. Caleb is a model student. He exemplifies everything that we hold dear at Gunter Middle School. He's a joy to have, and we can't wait to see him accomplish his goals. He has a huge heart and truly cares about others. We're so proud of him. Coach Mack works each day as a 7th grade science teacher, football coach, and head wrestling coach. He is constantly looking at ways to build students up and connect with them on a personal level. He has high expectations that our students always live up to because they are encouraged and seen. Coach Mack makes a point to teach the science curriculum in fun and interesting ways, including a made goods competition on the structure of a cell. We all really enjoy that. During Christmas, he was involved in a pranking war with another teacher, and students and staff had a great time watching that competition. So that was silly. Ms. Coleman, our giving students work this, and I thought it just summed up everything about Coach Mack very well. Coach Mack is more than a coach. He has so many things to those around him. The first time I saw him, I thought to myself, wow, I never want to be that mad. He looks like a rough and tough dude rude, but he's literally one of the kindest and most thoughtful people ever. He notices every student, whether they're in his classroom or not. He is a mentor, a school dad, and the biggest fan of our kids. Mac is also a wonderful science teacher, always pushing kids to think harder and create meaningful projects to allow the information to stick. He believes in life lessons. He believes in the life lessons that should come from making bad choices and works through those with students who need it the most. There are those who would be incomplete without him in our halls every day. He helps to make us a team, and we're so glad he's ours. Eli Best, a member of the middle school wrestling team, said, "Coach Mac cares about us. He teaches us by example. He has high expectations, but he tells us how to reach them." Coach Mac is an invaluable member of our school community because of the way in which he teaches and relates to his students. We are blessed in every way to have him on our campus.
Okay, hang on. So, for those of you that don't know, the teachers are surprised the day of, or a couple days before, by administration going into their classrooms with some balloons and the certificate, and we surprise them with their kids. Miss Neely, I need you to take 2 more pictures of the Coach Mac pose, if you will. So, you have to get over here too if I have to do it. So the first one is you have to bug your head. And the other one is the flex. Oh. Yes, she is.
All right, McKenna. Where's McKenna at? She's never been, she only comes to the office to do announcements every now and then, but I had the 6 call down the other day, and then when she walked in the door, I screamed at her to get in my office, and immediately her face just looked terrified. So I had to eventually just tell her that I'm just playing, you've never been in trouble in your life. So we got her, but Mr. Martindale, Board of Trustees, it is my honor to introduce to you McKenna Fagan. McKenna is the daughter of Reed and Danny Fagan. McKenna is involved in many activities including volleyball, track, FCA, and National Honor Society. I asked McKenna to send me a list of everything she was in. I will be up here all night reading it. She is very involved and very successful in everything she's involved in. In McKenna's free time, she enjoys working out, hanging out with friends, going to coffee shops, and attending college children's concerts. Should I add with you on that one? That's a good one. All right, and a few of McKenna's teachers, what they've had to say. Mr. Eaton states, McKenna has taken on the exceptional challenge of learning AP calculus her senior year and has proven herself a fierce competitor in the classroom, bringing with her an incredibly strong work ethic, quick to get, and a great sense of humor. When she's going, when the going gets tough, she pushes forward and encourages her fellow classmates to do the same. Above all, she's a student that is always seeking to do the right thing, even if it is difficult. Mr. Eaton. Coach Edgar has this to say, she's trustworthy, dependable, she works hard, and is a great representative of what it looks like to be a student athlete that goes above and beyond, not only in her studies, but in her extracurricular activities as well. Mr. Wagner, I have always been impressed with McKenna's drive for success. She works hard to achieve her goals, but she always comes out on top. Her expectations for herself are very high, and she takes care to follow up on obligations to make sure she has done what she has been asked of. She can be tough on herself, but her attention to detail and willingness to tackle difficult tasks have helped her become one of the better role models for younger Gunter students in our district. That's Mr. Wagner. McKenna, it is an honor, it's a privilege to recognize you tonight for the superintendent's honor. McKenna Fagan. Where'd you go? Gavin Gunter is the son of Bear Gunter and Lacey Gunter. He is involved in ag mechanics. He's been a regional performer for the last 2 years and is a student trainer. Outside of school, Gavin helps with his middle school Wednesday night church service. He loves spending time with his family and running track. Next year, he will attend Texas Tech University to pursue mechanical engineering. We got to hurry with that. Okay. I just can't. I feel like Gavin's teacher's been the same like him, Miss Neely states, I just can't tell you how polite he is. He is so thoughtful in his personal family life. I think that's where his attitude carries over to school. He works hard at both his job and his schoolwork. His employer bragged on him as well. When we had a meeting to check on his work habits, they had nothing but positive things to say about him. Coach Barr, he's one of the hardest worker, determined, and selfless individuals that I've ever had the honor of coaching and knowing. Mr. White, I have no doubt that Gavin Gunter will be successful in anything he decides to commit to. He has all the qualities that naturally breed success. Gavin is a well-mannered young man with excellent people skills and an approachable personality. A stranger would have to work hard to not like him at the first meeting. Gavin isn't afraid of hard work, but he is comfortable with asking questions. He is teachable, open to suggestions. Any school, foreman, employer, or team would be happy to have him as a member of their organization. That's Mr. Wagner. And I had a guy call me, I worked with a Gunter, he met Gavin, they were on a college visit at 12, and he called me and said, I got your kids here. And he said, Gavin, I said, I'm going to do it, he's a wonderful kid. And he echoed the same thing, he said throughout the visit, throughout his time with Gavin, just how wonderful of a kid he was. So he's a representation, a positive representation for everybody, for them outside of these walls. So, Gavin, privileged to be involved as a superintendent's honorable recipient. Coach Eger. Track meet moved the last night, but he had a night off, and then I bring him up here to this, so here we are. Mr. Martin, Board of Trustees, it's a privilege to get to introduce to you Coach Jeff Eger for his dedication and commitment to Gunter High School. Coach Eger has been married to Rebecca for 13 years. They have 3 daughters, Charlotte 10, Jordan 7, and Brady 4. Jeff has been teaching and coaching for 13 years and in his 6th year at Gunter. He has taught 8th grade math, algebra 1, and currently teaches personal finance at the high school. Coach Eger is also an assistant football coach, head girls track coach. Coach Eger states, I enjoy teaching and coaching because of the relationships I get to build and grow, and the growth and progress I get to see in the students over the years. A few things of what his colleagues have to say. Coach Eger demonstrates a remarkable ability to bring the best out of the students. His interactions in and outside of the classroom with students have to foster a positive learning environment for all students. His dedication to education helps empower students to excel beyond their expectations in the classroom and on the playing field. Coach Eger is an asset to our academic community. Next, Coach Fazell had this to say, and you know it's kind of a big deal if Coach Fazell's going to take the time to send me a quote. So, Coach Eger is an invaluable part of our coaching staff. His ability to reach student athletes extends far beyond the sidelines. He pushes students to be better human beings and teaches them so much outside the sports arena. We are very fortunate to have him on our team, Coach Fazell. So, Coach Eger, it's my honor and privilege to recognize you as the superintendent's teacher. We can click on it.
Principals, thank you so much for recognizing your people this month. Families, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your support. Teachers, thank you for all the hard work you do. Like I said when we started, this is always an amazing meeting for me because we get to hear and see the good things that are going on. But what always humbles me when I slow down long enough to think about Gunter ISD, and I ask you and encourage you to think about this on your way home. We saw great students tonight, we saw great teachers, and they're just a sampling of this district, because I could go door to door, classroom to classroom, and bring you a handful of kids that are this amazing, and every teacher is this amazing. So I thank all of you that are here tonight, parents. I thank you for your support. It is a team effort. We always say it takes a village, and it does. And so we appreciate you and your support and what you do for your kids. Teachers, thank you for loving on kids. It was a calling God put on your heart. We truly appreciate you doing that every day. So we're going to adjourn for just 5 minutes. If you would like to take more pictures or head out or speak to someone. Oh, that's right, I apologize. We need a picture of all the students and the 3 staff members before you leave. So we need to get those pictures, and then feel free to visit a little bit, and Miss Hill will bring us back to order in 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you again. Thank Ms. Hales, jumping back to the agenda item before, superintendent recognitions, was just public comments, item number 3, and we did not have anyone to speak tonight. So that moves us to item number 4, superintendent reports. A is what we just had, was our principals recognizing their students and staff. So it moves us to item B, monthly financial reports. Can't hear me? So that moves us to item B, monthly financial reports, and Ms. Chloe, the floor is yours. Do you want me to hand this to you?
No, it's not. Oh, no. I'm going to start on page 14, and I also gave you all a sheet that I'll go over after. On page 14 is our monthly budget summary for February. We have gotten in the vast majority of our property tax for the year. We still have a little bit trickling in, but for the most part, we received what we're going to. It shows down there on excess revenue and expenses, the 1.6. Obviously, that will flip a little as the year goes on. So we're still projected at where we had thought at the beginning of the year. Debt service is on page 15 at the top. We received obviously the majority of that property tax also, and we paid our first round of bond payments for the year. And so we will pay that second